9 a.m. If you'll stand for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. Welcome to this April 15th Board of Commissioners meeting. First item, do we have anyone here for public comment? All right, seeing none, we'll get right to it. We have Judge Moeller for the Chief Probation Officer. Good morning, Judge.
All right, good morning, thank you. I know we've talked about it at other meetings, but Nancy has decided to step down as our Chief Probation Officer. I just wanted to thank her one last time and recognize her for her many years of service. She's been with probation for the last 23 years, been our Chief Probation Officer. Before that, 12 years with the Department of Child Services, so a total of 35 years of service to the members of our community. So thank you, Nancy. You've done a great job with our both offices and with the probation department for these last many years. We've got a really good staff. If you look at the staff at probation, we have people that have been there for a long period of time, and that goes to the leadership within the department. So thank you for all your service, and these are for you. And we had a reception a couple weeks ago, but I just wanted to recognize her one last time at the meeting here, because this will be her last meeting in charge. So thank you. And really appreciate the fact she has worked very hard with Matthew Risk, who has been with our office for a number of years, and I will introduce that he will be our next Chief Probation Officer. So thank you to Nancy for working with him, and she's brought him along these last couple of years, let him help with budget and all of the things. So Matthew will be our next Chief Probation Officer.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any parting words, Nancy, you would like to say?
I didn't cry, so no, I have appreciated your support. Wonderful staff.
Well, thank you for your service and enjoy retirement.
I'm not letting her retire. I've got her on the hook for
Oh.
Oh.
Sorry, I mentioned that.
That's right.
Yeah, there's a little bit more to this.
Well, good. Thank you. Okay, next we have Phil Triplett with a vacation of alley for Robert Gray, which would be ordinance 2025-02. Good morning, Phil.
Good morning. I'm Phil Triplett. I'm representing Robert Gray. Mr. Gray is a resident of Texas, so he's not here this morning, but he owns some land in Forest. That's on the edge of the original plat, and then it actually crosses over from the original plat to Morrison and Alexander's First Edition. But it's a north-south alley that is not being used as an alley. There's multiple owners that own on both sides or kind of vertically along the alley. My understanding is all the owners are on board. Mr. Gray, I think people have been talking about it for a while, but Mr. Gray stepped up to get it done. So we've sent out the notices. I don't believe we've received any objections. Reached out to Liz at Area Plan. I don't see her, but she said she didn't have any issues with it as well. So yeah, we would request that this alley, as we've depicted on the petition, be vacated.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Phil?
None.
That's not been used as an alley for
Yeah.
many years. I don't
Yeah.
think so.
Anyone here want to speak for this? Okay, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to vacate the alley in Forest for ordinance 2502.
2502. I'll make that motion.
Second.
All right, motion carries 3-0. The alley has been vacated.
Thank you very much. Do you need a copy of the draft ordinance, or do you have that?
Have one.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. I'll move around, seeing some people missing that are listed here, so we'll go to Stephanie Harshbarger for the order for establishing precincts. Good morning, Stephanie.
Good morning. I'm Stephanie Harshbarger, the county clerk. I'm here this morning In regards to the city of Frankfort's ordinance annexing like Jefferson on out to Interstate 65, I sent you guys over a week ago. It's a commissioner's order that needs your approval. It's just part of like the formality process.
Okay, any questions?
None.
I
None?
don't believe so, no.
This is just encompassing that area into precinct 39.
Yes.
Correct, right?
Yes.
So,
Yep.
all right.
That's what I understood.
Yep. I'll entertain a motion to approve that order.
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second that.
All right, motion carries 3-0. We'll get it signed for you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next, we will open our community crossing matching grant bids. Tom has them. We have a few down there, so I'll pass it over to him to open those.
Just gonna open them, you guys can review them, take them under advisement.
Yep.
Yeah.
First one is from Revive. They put a cost of bid right on the cover, so I'll just read it, makes it easy. $275,777.75. Can you repeat that? Sure. $1,275,777.75. It's from Howard Companies. And let's see, okay, cost of bid project, here it is, $1,590,333.10. Midwest Bid. $1,556,265.10. This one is going to be from Milestone. $1,367,869.75. E&B paving. $1,860,156.73. Last one, DC Construction Services. $1,950,449.75.
Okay, thank you. They'll be up here for anyone that's interested after the meeting. If you want to take a look, they'll be at the end of the table. I'll entertain a motion to take them under advisement, and we'll make our selection at the next meeting.
I'll make that motion that we do take those under advisement and notify it later.
Okay.
Second.
All right, motion carries 3-0 on that. Next, we have Don Layton with the Paul Philippi 2026 grant. I believe there was some other stuff in there as well.
Good morning. Yeah, I think it's all just our application for 2026 for our public transit funding, where you guys are the actual applicant of the funding source for us. So it's all the typical forms that we sign every year, like during the grant application process. It's hard to believe that we're already looking at 2026, but we do that grant application pretty early in the year. We don't actually have like dollar amounts yet, like what our potential funding will be, but we have to like submit like our application and intent to apply for funds. So
walk us through, just so everyone hears, the changes going into 26.
Okay, so
about the
change.
regionalization.
Sure, absolutely. We're kind of a pilot program for the 5311 public transit program going into this year. We actually picked up Montgomery County for potentially 2026, and this year we're also overseeing Tipton County. So basically, what the state inevitably wants to happen is that they want to have like regionalizational hubs like throughout the state of Indiana. And so we are kind of a pilot program right now to see how that goes. And that's kind of kudos to you guys as well, because we have like really good compliance reviews. So they look at our county as being like one that has potentially been very actively involved in our public transit system. And so it's kudos to both of us for being selected for that pilot program.
Okay,
So Montgomery County will be included in next year's grant as well.
gotcha. Any questions?
I'm just amazed at how you have grown and the professionalism that has happened in the last 7 or 10 years. It's really exciting to see all the work and effort that you guys have done.
It is exciting. I have a really great staff, and
Your
so
staff
they really help our community look really great. So
Staff has done an excellent job.
we appreciate that.
Okay. Any other comments or questions?
So those can just get assigned to me at any point. Like the grant is due like May the 15th. So I think there's some stuff that the attorney has to sign, and I think some stuff like auditor and as well as president.
Okay. Yeah, I'll entertain a motion to sign the resolution for the 2026 grant.
I'll make that motion that we go ahead and sign the resolution now so that everything's done on our
Perfect.
end.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Second.
All right, motion carries 3-0. All right, next we have Rick with a highway update. Morning, Rick.
Wanted to start off with the countywide bridge inspection. Highway Department would like to go with our second choice. I sent all the information to the commissioners after the last meeting, and wanted the commissioners to make a recommendation.
Okay, Kevin, I know you have some thoughts on this.
Well, I see the BS is out here, and they would like, I don't know, they want to come up and speak.
Okay. So let's walk through it. VS Engineering was first in the selection process. We got
Exactly.
their proposal higher than traditionally had been.
It was
So
124% higher.
okay, there you go. And so then the second one is BFNS Engineering. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay. Kevin, Joe, do you want to have anything you want to say? I'll give you a moment here.
Right. Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity. During the fee negotiations, we never really heard from the county where they were at. So we just presented what we thought the fees would be based off of other counties. And there are a lot of changes going into the next year. There's a new rating guide that changes all the item numbers. So all the data has to be updated. And fortunately, we just started a different county putting in data. And we found out that all the comments from the previous inspections are no longer there. We have to go in and retype all the comments. There's several new items that have to be inspected in the field. Some of them, it was under one item, now it's into like 3 items, so there's a lot of that. So there's a lot of extra work that's involved in the new inspections upcoming. So we feel that, we're justified in some of our fees, plus just kind of wanted to get more of a negotiation process going with the county to see where you guys are at and see if we could make any other adjustments to make this work, because we want to negotiate in a good manner and a good and faithful manner before we move on to a different consultant, because I just kind of feel that we really haven't had a really good negotiation process here before, we're kind of being asked to be removed from this. So that's all I would ask, is that you reconsider. Thank you.
I have no questions.
Yeah, I was going to say something, but go ahead, Rick.
do you want to go ahead?
Well, I was just going to say that I know that Rick and Greg had been discussing this with them, with BS, and I don't know, I wasn't involved in those negotiations. I don't know if that's something that we probably could look into some more, or when is the actual deadline for
I think it's the end of
Election.
April.
end of April?
I think it's the end of April. It's
Okay.
coming up pretty quick.
So we have two options. Either go with this second choice or try and negotiate with the first choice, but then obviously we'd have to just call a special meeting at some point before our next meeting, because it's on the 6th of May, and if it's due by the end of April. Those would be our two options.
Why didn't they give us their best price to start with?
I think that's a great question.
Yeah.
I don't know that, we talked about negotiating with the county, which generally we're always open to negotiation, but at the same time, we didn't know that we were negotiating. So if that's the case, I suppose we can tell you what we're willing to pay, and then you can decide if you're willing to accept that, and if not, then we'll go a different direction. So, but it's up to you guys. If
Well,
there are
my
other thoughts.
my first concern was the 124% increase over the fees 4 years ago, and I understand there's been a lot of things changed as far as requirements and protocol that the Federal Bridge puts everybody through, and for good reason. And but I do agree with Rick that why didn't we hear the best fee at the very beginning, and then all of a sudden we're able to reduce that substantially. So I'm open to either giving them another shot, or we just make that decision today.
I think in my case, I would have liked to seen better figures to begin with. And if that's the case, even better communication from them to you. And based on that and the fact that it's already the 15th or the 16th coming up, I am sorry that it didn't work out. And, hopefully next time it could, but I think at this point, my thoughts would be we need to go back to number 2 and proceed on, and then hopefully next year or the next opportunity, let them come back and try it again.
It'll be 4 years, right? 4 years.
Yeah.
4 years, so, okay.
I meant the next time.
Yeah, understand. So is that a motion?
I'll make that a motion that
Okay.
we go ahead and proceed on with option number 2 at this point in time.
Okay. Have a motion.
Second?
Do you want a second? All right, motion, we'll carry that 3-0. Go to your second choice, and we'll see next time, Joe, if we can have better luck. Okay.
Community crossings for 2024, I have the closeout letter. I think Jerry's got it. Needs to be signed by the commissioners for the phase 1 part of 2024. We're still doing the phase 2 part.
And it shows a negative balance of $13,967.76. So we'll get reimbursed either 50 or 75%. Is that correct? If I'm reading the fine print here.
I'm not exactly sure on that. I make it a point to go over because I don't want to have to pay them back.
Okay.
So,
All right. Well, maybe check on that. It says negative amounts indicate underrun, which agrees.
Right, it wasn't underrun.
75%. So.
but we
either-
did have to pay out of pocket for the city's portion that we went ahead and paid.
Yeah. So I'll entertain a motion to close out the 24 CCMG grant.
I'll make that motion.
And I would second that.
All right, motion carries 3-0. We'll get that signed for you, Ray.
Have all the Bridge 60 paperwork that needs to be signed, notice of reward, Notice to proceed and then the contract.
Yep. Okay, so this is for civil coding and construction, and just to put out a reminder, we only had one bid on this,
Right.
and it was for the $681,658.50, and it should be completed by July 1st of '26. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Starting this fall?
I think it starts this July.
Oh, this July?
I
Okay.
think so.
Okay, all right. We have a motion to proceed with civil coding and construction contract for Bridge 60 repair.
So moved.
Second.
All right, motion carries 3-0 on that.
Rick, on that portion that we did with the city, I believe that was the right thing to do. It would have been a gap and very obvious.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have looked good even
No,
for
it
our
wouldn't look
section.
good at all.
So I appreciate the fact that you stepped up on that.
I talked with the council last week about purchasing that new mower, commutal mower, and they were all on board, and I was wondering if the commissioners would sign off and let us get that new mower, and we'll pay for it next year, start paying for it next year. 5-year lease of $82,289. And it's a lease to own.
Lease to own, so once you make the 5 payments, is there a $1 at the end buyout or anything?
It's ours.
I think we should consider just buying it up front. The whole
Instead of
thing.
leasing?
Yes, because the interest, it comes out to like $58,000 over the 5 years. And if, when he sent us the annual report, the cash balances are more than healthy to
Yeah.
absorb that.
Yeah.
So if we could save $60,000
In 5 years.
over
Yeah.
5 years, it's different when the interest landscape is 3 to 2.5% or so, and you're paying, 15 or 20 over 5, but 58 or 60 over 5, with the balances you have. I mean, that would be my recommendation, to move forward and just try and purchase the whole thing.
Does that mean we have to go back to council?
Well,
I wouldn't think so.
probably not. I mean, you have the funding, so
Yeah,
you
you've got
would
the
just have to
funding in
do
your
some
account.
level
They
of
would-
transfer, right? And
All right.
what did they, what did they tell you at their meeting?
The council?
Yeah,
I wanted the 5 years, and they approved the 5-year lease.
But they were all in favor of the
They were all in
purchase.
favor.
There was nobody that,
you may have to go back to them, but I would say that if these two agree with it and we choose to do that, they're not going to be able to counter that when you're saving $60,000 over 5 years. Like, it makes more financial sense.
It just may delay it just a short time,
Yeah.
but probably is, if they would, you've got the funds and you can just do the transfer. And,
Okay.
yeah, it just may delay it a little bit, so I'll move to go ahead and, if the council agrees, to go ahead and just purchase it outright.
Okay.
yeah, I don't
All right.
second that.
3-0. I'll send them a message and tell them.
Okay.
And just let them know.
Yeah.
Thank courtesy.
Yeah. I think they'll be okay with it.
Okay. I think that's all I got.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rick. All right, next we have the Stitzel with an area plan update as well as a LUPAC. Hold on.
Morning. I don't think I've got a whole lot on the area plan buildings or mowing side at the moment this morning, but I do have a LUPAC. So this is LUPAC 04-25-388. This is coming to you from the Area Plan Commission, and they're sending a favorable recommendation. This concerns an amendment proposed by Jeff Clark to rezone 3.85 acres of land. This is on the south side of State Road 26. It's up in what we would call the Middle Fork area, but where 421 and 26 intersect, it's just there to the east on the south side, but still in the developed area. There's a existing house there that I think at one point in time was part of a farm. There's some grain bins and stuff, next to it. At any rate, they are wanting to turn this house into an insurance office and consolidate 2 existing insurance offices in the county into one location. And the Area Plan Commission did hold a public hearing. There was not anybody that had comment on it. They did consider this request and its location and the fact that there's a significant amount of floodplain there in that area, as well as an already pretty significant amount of business zoning and kind of mixed use. And so for those reasons, they have submitted a favorable recommendation recommending rezoning that 3.85 acres of land from the R1 Rural Residential Zoning District to the B2 Central Business Zoning District. Realizing that central business seems a little odd, we don't have a perfect zoning district for the situation with where it sits. Our concern always with recommending the 3 heavier zoning districts, your B3, B4, and B5, those are the ones where you can start to have heavier business uses that might have outdoor storage that might be unsightly. And in this case, neighborhood business wasn't going to work either. So this is a district that means that if somebody else comes into that building down the road, because once the zoning changes, it changes all the allowable uses, you're pretty well going to be dealing with things that are like offices and those sorts of things, not things that might tend to accumulate unsightly debris.
Okay. Any questions?
No? I'll make the motion that we accept the area plan's recommendation and that we move forward with the LUPAC ordinance.
Second.
Okay, motion carries 3-0. That is approved.
Okay, and I've got the original, so I'll just, give this to you
We'll put
guys.
it in
And
the
once it's
stack.
all signed
Yep.
and taken care of, somebody can get it back to me. I believe that's everything I have this morning, unless you have something for me.
Do not?
All
Thank you.
right, I hope you have a wonderful
Good.
morning.
Thank you. Okay. Earlier, I skipped over, we had our council president as well as RDC President Alan Dunn for the 25 TIF management report. He's not here, but I'm on the RDC, so I can probably run through it real quickly for us. Annually, we have our management report. It has to be sent to the commissioners, the council, and the city by April 15th, but then in '24, they changed the requirement where they have to present to the council, not commissioners. So I believe they did that presentation, but just to summarize, there's 2 things I'll note. If you recall, our original TIF area is the I-65 area. It has an expiration in 2039. And then in '23, we established the State Road 28 area with like a TIF within inside a TIF that extended that window. So that area actually doesn't expire until 2048. So it gives it more longevity to collect those revenues. In '24, there was $548,660.25 of revenue, and it had a expenditure of $24,044.33.
Great job.
That was, at this point, all the activity as we continue to kind of try and build that up for some type of infrastructure or project that comes out to that area that we need it for. So I don't remember exactly the total balance, but it's obviously more than that 500,000. So.
And this is relatively the first or second year that we've started to receive funds.
Correct. Oh, large amount of funds. Yeah. So
That's great.
we'll move to old business. We have 2 pay apps. The first one is for both to Envoy, $1,307,197.66. This puts the project, this is for the annex, currently on the pay app is about 89% of the project is paid for. And if you recall, we have timelines that we have to meet certain payments based on the bond structure, so
Right.
it follows a schedule. And then the second one is for $112,595.20, and it is for the courthouse, and it's paid up to about 59% at this point. So I entertain a motion to approve the pay apps.
I'll make that motion.
Do you need 1 or 2? That we
I think we
just
can
both
do
of them?
with just one motion will be fine.
Okay. I'll second that.
All right. So a motion to approve both pay apps. All right, we'll move on to new business. First item, if you recall, last year we created the Cemetery Commission. I had appointments set up in a 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe even a 5-year rolling term. The 1-year appointment is up, and would like to continue that appointment for a 5-year term, and that is Susie Plunkett. Do we have a motion or any questions or concerns?
I'll move to appoint her to the Cemetery Commission.
Okay.
And I'll second that.
Motion carries 3-0 on the appointment. Next item is our annual Gibson Teledata fees related to our phone service, right, Tim? Correct? The first one's for $549, and the second one is for $3,033. And these are both increased, but by a few $100s total over last year. And
Motion to approve.
Second.
motion carries 3-0 on those. The next item, we have a tattoo and body modification ordinance. It would be 2025-03. Don't see anyone from the health department here. They sent this to us, it's been a few weeks now. Very lengthy ordinance, I believe 16 or 17 pages related to tattoos and some body modifications in Clinton County. So, is anyone here that wants to speak on this? Do we have any?
Do we have any professionals out there?
Not here today, so I think we all had a chance to review it.
Yeah.
It was outside my wheelhouse, so I will
Same here.
assume that it is a needed ordinance. Do we have a motion or comments or questions, or would we like someone to come explain it to us?
I mean, I'm good. I've read it, not that I understand all of it, but
Yeah, I'm in the same boat with Kevin. However, it's way outside my realm.
Okay.
I don't know, is it going to put us in a position that we're becoming a little obligated in some categories that we want or don't want? I don't know.
It will obligate the health department more so than it would you to keep track of all of these establishments and make sure that they're doing things per the ordinance.
and they're the one that came up with the ordinance, so
Yeah.
I assume they needed some more guardrails.
Yeah.
They've had some issues, and there's no parameters for anyone to follow, so this creates some parameters for them.
Well,
So,
I'll make the motion to go ahead and approve that.
Yeah, obviously they're the professionals, so
Yeah.
I'll second.
okay, motion carries 3-0 to accept this ordinance, and
Will
if
we
you
get a
come up with it,
discount on-
we'll reconsider.
Can I get a discount now on tattoo?
I don't know about that.
Okay. Mom?
Okay, next, we have a job description, and it's for the crime scene investigator at the sheriff's office. Anyone want to comment or anything on it?
On the job description itself, it's a position it's obviously needed. It's going to cover our crime scene issues, collecting evidence, transporting evidence to Indianapolis to the state police lab, things like that. Moving forward, position will also cover the sex offender, the sexual violent offenders registry, which is mandated by the state that we have to have somebody there. Currently, we have deputies that take charge of that and move and use that, but it's also using up their time, that the ability to be out there on the road. So this person would be taking care of that as well, covering the registry, and then the sheriff's office deputies would all then do home checks, home visits, and the enforcement portion of if there was a violation of the registry.
Is the vision it won't be a merit deputy then? It'll just
Yes.
It will be a merit?
No, I'm sorry. It will not be a merit deputy.
Okay.
And that was the key thing that we wanted to move towards, was moving them out of an administrative position, and that would also free up the ability to have that. And in the past, it was covered with a lieutenant's position, which not truly real cost effective. We're paying somebody a lieutenant's pay to do some things in a job description that we could do with a civilian person. So it will free us up the ability to have that person back on the road. And I understand that we're trying to move away from that lieutenant's position as well and just go back to a merit position that's unranked.
Okay.
So it would be somebody that would go out and work on the road, so it frees that position up.
Perfect. Only thing I noticed on the work schedule, it may change a little bit, I suppose, because is it 40 hours? Is that what the proposal is?
Yes.
For? Okay. And so it's 8:30 to 4:30, but obviously that, if they take lunch, they'll have to factor in that.
It
Because
would-
since it's non-exempt.
And it would change, and it could possibly change because, obviously on the registry itself, the people that are on the registry and required, sometimes they have to come in after hours, things like that. So there may be an adjustment on on a time to give people the ability to have a one-on-one with the registry person.
Well, yeah, and in here, I think you put it in there. Obviously, it's going to have to be on call, right? Because
Yes.
not
Yes.
every crime scene happens between
No,
8:30
8 and 4:30, it would
Yeah.
be super if it did. So, but, as far as the position for the crime scene, things like that, it's something that's needed, and what we've seen over the last several years is that the state police has backed off in providing those services to the sheriff's office and city police departments, things like that. So we're kind of seeing a trend where everybody's taking care of themselves, and we're having a difficult time getting the services from the state police, and sometimes it was 8 to 10 hour waits and holding a crime scene, and that costs us quite a bit of money because of the overtime and everything else.
Yeah. So this should free up.
Oh,
Well,
absolutely.
should free up both the road deputies in terms of
Yes.
not having to handle some of this stuff as well, right?
So,
Specialized
absolutely.
person. So, do you envision any additional requirements, not inside the job description, just like needs that they'll have to have for equipment or anything like that?
I wouldn't think so.
Okay.
I mean, obviously that can change as far as equipment and budgeting and things like that,
Yeah.
but we do have resources that we can, purchase equipment out of and different things for that. And we also have fees that come in for the registry. So I think we'd probably be covered with any of that as
Okay.
far as any future budgeting, but I don't think there's going to be any additional requirements at this point in time.
Gotcha. All right, I'm good with it.
I'll make the motion, we move forward with it.
I'll second.
All right,
Thank
motion
you.
carries 3-0.
Appreciate it.
Next, we have 4 sign placement requests. The first one is for the Clinton County Civic Theater, their play performance, and it will be asking for 7 days and would be removed starting on May 5th, placed on the 15th after the meeting today. The second one is for the Frankfurt Rotary Heroes of Hope event, again for 7 days and starting on 4/15. Paul Philippi, their Strawberry Festival fundraiser, it is for starting on 4/15 and goes through June 9th. And the last one is the Red Barn Theater summer show schedule, and would start today as well and go through July 20th. So if there's no issue with those 4, we can take a motion for all 4.
Move to approve all 4.
Okay. Motion carries 3-0 on that. All right, next we have department heads. See a few out there. Anyone want to go? Back up, Nancy. One last. Guess we'll hold you to that.
Yeah. Get your cameras out.
Yeah. I do want to say in 23 years, I think our office has moved 4 times. I think when I started, we had just left the courthouse, the 4th floor, to the Friendly Building. Then we went to the Rural Building, then we went to North Columbia, And we went to the building we're at now, so I'm done moving. Well, except
Attitude.
I had to move 23 years of
Yeah,
stuff.
you
By the
didn't
way.
leave everything, did you?
No, just the creepy dolls and the creepy dolls and a lot of the Halloween stuff. So I had to explain why I was bringing 23 years of stuff home. It's going into a yard sale. But I do have to ask that my name be taken off of the checking account at Farmers Bank, and I need to put Matthew Risk and our office manager, Alicia Server, on it.
Okay.
So I want to do that this week.
Motion to move forward with that?
Yes.
Second.
Yep.
And that-
3-0. Go ahead and take care of that.
And that's it.
Okay. Those
Okay,
are,
thank you.
Thank
those are
you,
the parting
Nancy.
words.
That's it. That's all she wrote.
Morning, Renee.
Good morning. I really don't have much. I do want to say that this week is National Public Safety Telecommunicator Week. So it's a week of appreciating our dispatchers and all that they do. And I am thankful for each and every one of them and the job that they do. And we just continue to grow, and I'm pleased with our vision and how we're continuing to move forward. So I'm excited about that.
Great.
So, and then next Tuesday and Wednesday, Chris and I will be out of the office. We will be attending the Directors Summit that is sponsored by the Statewide Executive 911 Board.
Okay. Fantastic. Questions, comments?
I don't have anything else.
Just
Congratulations on your staff.
Yep.
And the things that have happened down there.
Thank you.
Very much.
Bert finally got to stop down and see the new renovations.
Yeah,
And so,
very nice. You guys have done well.
yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you for
thanks.
that.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Tim?
It's the time of year again to renew our Duo security stuff for our email and systems. And this year it was a couple $100 more, I think, than last year. It's $15,417. So just looking for approval to continue that.
Motion.
moved.
Most definitely. Second.
Thanks.
3-0. Sheriff?
Just getting a confirmation on moving forward with security automation systems on the two quotes that we got last month on correcting the board and the control room at the sheriff's office handles the doors. There was a significant difference in the price, and security automation systems that's one of their original boards, and they made some recommendations several years ago, maybe in 16 or 17, to do an upgrade, and we didn't do it, so we need to do it now. So I'd like to move forward with that.
Okay. Any questions for that?
No.
Do we have
At this point.
Do we have a motion to move forward with the security automations and the
Security automation.
which is the low bid of the two that we were.
And what was that bid amount?
Let me get my glasses.
Yeah. Mine are
They use a
dark.
different font than I do. Mine's pretty big. Their base price was $15,400, and there's a couple options. Replacing data logging server added $6,000 to it, so it's going to be, $15,400 and $6,170 would be the total cost for the update on it, and I didn't do the math on that.
21, 22.
Yeah, about
So
22,000.
maybe we make an approval up to 30
Okay.
in case they get in there
And
they
add
find some
something.
other stuff that needs it and it's already approved. So you can move forward and make those decisions.
I'd appreciate it, and we would still be under the bid of the other bid.
Yeah, so,
that.
Yeah, that
That's a
sounds
good
good.
idea.
Yeah, I'll make a motion. Approve that up to 30.
okay, so that'll give you a little wiggle room.
Thank you very
They
much.
find other
The
stuff.
time.
I have one other thing, and I know we've sent emails back and forth, and we're getting some age on some of one of the vehicles in the fleet, and it's the vehicle that's used by one of our people that works primarily undercover. That's what he does. And he's assigned to a couple different agencies that assist in the area. He also assists with Frankfurt, Police Department when they have the drug, information. And the problem is we've got a vehicle that is a 2014 and it needs about between $5,000 and $6,000 worth of repairs. We do have approved in the budget for a rental system for that person to use, and I was just asking for the blessing to use that in the budget. And I know that we have to talk about some insurance issues, things like that, and there's a policy that you can do with them, or you can, we'll check with the county insurance. So that's something that, is feasible and reasonable, and, the insurance is what I don't know about. And I'll be the first one to tell you, I'm going to lean on Chief Deputy Mayfield to get a hold of the insurance company and get some numbers for us. But I don't know if it would add or what the case would be, but we'll have him do that.
Okay. So Captain Myers had sent this to me. I
Yes.
think it was like $1,039. Does that sound right? Give or take, per month. And then it's through Enterprise, and it allows them to swap out the vehicle every month, right? Or at
At
his
will,
discretion?
at discretion.
Okay.
At will.
So even more than that. And I don't remember, how much do you have in the budget? So
20,
okay, so that should cover it, because that's roughly 12
12
to
of them.
15,000 a year
We
for it.
also finally, we had an asset forfeiture case from 2020 that was going through as well, and I don't perceive that we would need to dig into it for that, but it has been used in the past. So we received I think it was $23,000 from a 2020 case of an asset forfeiture from an interstate bus, just FYI.
Okay.
We have that as well.
and it does take your approval to use that money wherever it's at. So obviously, if we go to use that money for anything, we'll come to you.
Okay. And so I'm assuming that 1,039 didn't include the insurance, is what it sounds like.
No,
right?
I don't
That'll be
believe
an
so.
additional.
The midsize car monthly price estimate is $1,070.68, and that includes taxes and fees.
Okay. All right, so I think we could approve that, and then we'll just work on the insurance and figure out which one of the options is more cost-effective
Very
and
good.
lower risk. And
It'll add a vehicle we can get rid of. So it's a good vehicle. It's just, it's, it's got some major things that are going south on it. And I think somebody else would greatly appreciate doing those payments, fixing it. But it'll add to the fleet that we can get rid of.
Okay, and I know, I've talked to Sean a little bit about it, there's an upcoming auction, so if we can get some list of vehicles to get into that.
Chief Deputy has a
we
list,
can-
and we'll probably add this vehicle to it as well, so, but he has that, and we talked about it this morning, so he'll get with you with providing the list of vehicles we can get rid of.
And then I would be open to taking that money, and if we need to get a new vehicle of some sort
Sure.
for somebody, then you have some funds available for that.
Very good.
I'd agree.
All right, so let's do a motion, and just send over that enterprise
Okay.
lease agreement or whatever contract, I assume it is.
So I've asked for a proposal for you numerous times, and I can show you emails for this. They don't have a proposal program. There's nothing to sign. It's just.
So it's just monthly?
It's just the monthly
So you can-
rental agreement.
If you want to stop it in 2 months, you're good to just cancel it? Okay, all right.
It's just a government rated.
Rental
Rental.
agreement, okay. All right. So we'll entertain a motion to move forward with the enterprise rental program for the undercover vehicle.
I have a motion to accept that. Not sure how you.
That works.
Second.
All right, motion carries 3-0, so good there, and we'll work on the trade-ins and go from there.
One other real quick. I spoke to Cecily yesterday about the CSI position that you just approved, and she said she made the request for the 7-day at the same time. So was that approved as well?
It's not ringing a bell, the 7-day,
The
Advertisement.
the internal advertisement for the job.
oh, yeah, you're good to
Okay.
advertise, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you very much. I know there's a lot of other things that, at the facility that need addressed. We're going to work with maintenance and the chief deputy and jail staff. We're going to put together the absolutes that have to be done to meet the jail inspection and make some corrections. And we'll hopefully have that, hopefully by next month, we'll get something started with that.
Okay.
Okay, appreciate it.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, seeing none, go to commissioner reports. Commissioner Weaver, do you have anything this morning?
Nothing to report.
Nothing to report? Commissioner Myers.
Went to the North Central Indiana Regional Planning Council the other day, and they have started a program, and I emailed Rick about it, where they're going to provide traffic counts on selected roads by the county, up to 20 to 30 of them.
Okay.
So we could select, you want to see what, priorities for paving or things like that. So, and it's not going to cost us a dime. They're just going to provide it. So,
20 or 30 this year?
Locations.
yeah,
Okay.
20 or 30 locations this year.
Okay, great. Well, let's get them working then.
Yeah, anything free is good.
Yeah. Well, anything else to report?
No, I don't.
Yep. Okay. Two quick things. Some of you may have saw last evening at the state level, they passed some version of Senate Bill 1. I don't know what that looks like because it's 350 pages and I have not taken the time to read it, but I think it will obviously have some level of impact at the local level. So just be aware of that as we move forward into the budget season coming up in 26, that's going to be something that council will have to deal with, not as much us, but us in terms of looking at projects and those type of things and how they fit into that. And then the second thing, a little more imminent in terms of what's going on. We've put in the fuel tanks and we've been utilizing them, but we allowed our fuel cards previously to stay intact. We'll probably keep them open for maybe another month, and then we'll look to get rid of those completely, and then we'll just put in something in place where if you have to go out of town for whatever reason and you're unable to fill up before you go, then you just do a reimbursement back. So fill out a form like you do to go to a conference or something like that.
What about our transports?
So I think they would just be able to do the same thing, right? They would just have to pay for it and then turn in the reimbursement for their stuff. But we can talk through that because I would assume, right? Is that the Traverses?
Well, it could be anything.
Or-
It depends. I'll come up here. Where we end up is if we're going to Texas. And, and it's like, I think, Ashley, if you want to step up here too. But we do have credit cards that we could use through the sheriff's office, through, and the ability to do that. But we're talking about being out of state for 2 to 3 days and traveling back through the state, and that's the issue with the fuel card, not having that open fuel card. So, I mean, it's something where we can, we're
So
going to need to.
we could probably we'll look into keeping one or two, and you'll have them, and then when those people go and they need it, because right now we have a few departments that we can't track who's using it,
Yes.
and so we're getting these 500, 300, just these consistent charges, and we don't know who's doing it,
Right.
and so we gotta narrow it down.
Absolutely.
Because your situation makes sense, right? But the other ones,
Right.
no one's going out of state, so they should be good.
Yeah, if we had to go the credit card route, the only thing I would ask of is for the auditor to increase the credit line, because we've ran into, we'll make large purchases, this just happened to us, and we were out of money while they were in Louisiana because we had to make a large ammo purchase on the credit card as well, and so I would just ask that credit limit be raised so that we have appropriate amounts so that
Because
we don't.
It
end
would
up-
probably be the Traverses, and speaking about that, and the new 250 that we just picked up, that new van, would probably be the one that would be taken out of state if we were bringing 2 or 3 people back, whatever the case was. So it would
So
be
we could-
definitely just assigned to those vehicles.
Okay, yeah, we could leave 2 or 3 in service, 2 or 3 of the current cards in service, have them assigned to those vehicles, and that could eliminate some of the other outside issue. Does that
Absolutely.
sound like a plan?
Yes,
Okay,
I'd
all right.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because everything else is within state, and even for the any travel whatsoever, I mean, yes, you should fill up here, and you can go to southern Indiana and back on a tank of gas.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we're not driving, you know, the old vehicles that, you know, get 7 miles of the gallon, where everything averages between 18 and 22 miles of the gallon or more. So I think we'd be fine with that, having
Okay.
those 3 vehicles with the credit cards assigned to them, or the fuel card assigned to them.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Work on it. We'll probably wait another month and see. We're kind of tracking it, trying to identify, but I'll talk to you guys and we'll put a plan in place for those 3.
Thank you.
All right.
Jordan, one thing, and I apologize, backing up. And this is a question for Liz, maybe she knows. I've been told that the solar panel people are going to install wooden posts again rather than the metal posts that are there. What's going on with that?
So I don't know. So I did see on Facebook, not that that is the source from which one should get their news, but I did see a post about wooden posts going in. And I actually, to be honest, I assumed that there were just a couple areas where landowners specifically wanted wooden posts to go in and the rest was going to stay metal. So I just assumed maybe it was just those areas because it only looked like a couple stacks. But I can call and ask them. I've got another issue I'm working with them on right now. So I can see if I can find out if they've decided for whatever reason that they're going to, because my understanding was the majority of it was going to just stay as is. And it was just the 1 or 2 spots that there was a landowner that was really married to the wood that they were going to.
And I understood they had removed those even, so my impression is that it was all gonna stay the metal all the way around.
Yeah.
And I've got several people who have asked and concerned, because if that's the case, they're gonna drive posts.
Yeah,
And
there'll be
people
noise.
aren't gonna be too excited about that again, so could you check it out?
I
and
will
see
check
what's
it out
going on?
and I'll email or call you and let you know what I find out.
Very much.
Not a problem.
Okay. Anything else?
That's good, I'm sorry.
Good. No, you're fine. Glad you remembered. All right, we'll move on to our claims from April 4th in the amount of $6,526.92. April 11th in the amount of $8,376.72. April 15th in the amount of $466,388.83. And a court claim from the 15th of April for $12,131.21. Motion to approve claims.
Motion to approve the claims.
Second.
Carries 3-0. Next, we have payroll from April 4th in the amount of $582,061.28, and then a Board of Health payroll from March 21st in the amount of $1,015.32.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, motion carries 3-0. Lastly, we have our regular meeting minutes from April 1st.
Move to approve the minutes.
And second.
All right, motion carries 3-0 on the minutes. Our next meeting will be May 6th. Any other business to come before the commissioners? Okay, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right, thank you. We will do that proclamation for Prairie on the 6th.
Yeah, I've ordered it.
Okay, just let me know how much.
Surprised that
Yeah. Are you?